Robert Pattinson. I mentioned and I kind of teased that Mickey 17 is a outstanding performance, and I would debatably put it in the top five here. Do you want to make a joint list today?
Let's do a joint one. Let's try to make it work here.
I think we can try and make it work. This is a good idea, Ricky Flicks. Why don't I'll give my five, my number five, and then let's see if it's on your list, and we'll kind of do some bargaining if we differ. Okay, so number five for the best Robert Pattinson performances, I'm gonna go with Tenet. I had Tenet at number five.
Yeah, we're gonna do this today because I have 10 as 5 as well.
Hell yeah, off to a great start here. This is the role where it's like, wow, this guy, no duh, he's going to be playing Bruce Wayne afterwards. Not the version of Bruce Wayne we got for the Batman. You know, we played more of like the classic Bruce Wayne, like shirt, tie, suit, tuxedo type of look, where like this guy could be Bruce Wayne, he could be James Bond. He is by far the coolest character in Tenet. He has the amazing last scene with John David Washington, right? I think that he is great in the action sequences here. He's cool as a freaking cucumber in Tenet, right? We looked at it, we're like, Robert Pattinson has made the transformation. He's in one of the not the lead role, but he's like the next guy up in a freaking Nolan movie, and he's about to play Batman afterwards. This was the full transition to like Robert Pattinson is the man after Tenet.
Yeah, and this is his cool guy. Like if you look at his filmography, he does so many different things in his filmography. He kind of had to because he had to show his range in different roles to kind of prove that he's a good actor. And he worked with a lot of different auteurs and a lot of indies, a lot of smaller budgets, a lot of darker subject matters. But this is a big, again, this wasn't as big at the box office as it should have been because of COVID. But this was supposed to be, hey, I'm back in a blockbuster, baby. I am back. I'm working with Christopher Nolan, and I'm looking like James freaking Bond. I'm looking like Tom Hardy in Inception under Nolan, right? And that was like his breakout moment of like, yup, and then I'm going to be Batman. So this had to be on the list. And for me, like one note to be anything higher versus everything else that are coming for me, at least. So that's why it's number 5. But for me, it had to be on the list.
All the other roles I have in the top 5, he's the lead in. That's a little hint for the rest of my list. But Tenet, he's the best performer in Tenet. Like out of all those actors, like Robert Pattinson is the best. He's the most entertaining. This deserves to be on the list. It's that maybe that doesn't say much because Tenet was pretty. It's arguably the least successful movie in Christopher Nolan's filmography, but it does say something when you're the best performance in a Christopher Nolan movie. So it has to be on the list. Number 5, Tenet. Why don't we go with your number 4, see if we line up here?
I am open to this, but 3 and 4 were tough for me. I have Mickey 17 at 4.
Wow, you put it in the top 5. I actually had High Life at number 4.
I have High Life at 6.
Okay, this is interesting because the degree of difficulty goes to Mickey 17, but I'm also looking at it like Robert Pattinson. We have to honor some of like the independent films that he's done because that's what kind of gave him like his like resurgence and led him to becoming Batman. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. But do you not have that later on in your list?
Which one? Mickey 17?
No, Indy.
I have, yeah, I have it really high.
Yeah, there's 2. I think there's 2 that are really high.
Yes, I agree.
I think it's already
that are the highest, maybe. You know,
and I'm telling you right now, High Life, a movie I like a lot better than Mickey 17. I think that movie freaking rocks. I just think we have to respect Robert Pattinson, like we were saying in the review. He literally showcased every single type of role he did in Mickey 17, and he did it with this Bong Joon-ho, best picture, best director, momentum director of the era right now. So I just think I was like, all right, I'm putting in Mickey 17 because he's doing all this stuff. He's doing a little bit of High Life. He's doing a little bit of Tenet. He's doing a little bit of The Lighthouse. He's doing a little bit of all these other movies, right? That's why I picked it over High Life. But those were the 2 I was really debating because I told you, I put Tenet in at number 5 just out of respect. But the real debate was which sci-fi am I going to throw in here? High Life or Mickey 17? I went with the all-around performance over the one note performance. Even though it's not one note, I'm just using that for the analogy.
This one is so much more comedic, obviously, than High Life. High Life doesn't have a single like funny bone in its body, you know. And Mickey 17, I feel like this opened up a new side of Pattinson. It showed what already he was amazing at with like the voice work, obviously, but like doing it with two different characters here. We talked about the stark contrast. I'm okay with Mickey 17 making it. I didn't know if it was premature to put it on the list. I initially was like, is this like number 5 for me? But I don't think it's premature because it's clear when you watch this movie that Robert Pattinson is carrying this shit. You know, that and it's in a Bong Joon-ho movie following Parasite, a lot of pressure on this is also just like if the movie fails in terms of box office earnings, it will not be because Robert Pattinson did not bring it.
Completely agree.
Let's do it. Number 4, Mickey 17. I'm going to go with 3. The Batman.
I told you we're lining up pretty well here. I have the Batman at number 3.
So I love the Batman. Like I
Really?
fucking love the Batman. And it is the best performance of someone wearing the bat suit, in my opinion. Well, if we get a true Bruce Wayne in the Batman Part 2, this number 3 could become number 1 fast. It could become number 1 fast. The only thing that kept me from bringing the Batman higher is because when you think of all these people that have played Batman, how are they judged? It's not just how they are in the suit, it's how they are when they're not wearing the suit. And even when we didn't get much of actual Bruce Wayne in the movie, he was kind of someone that isn't the usual Bruce Wayne we usually get, you know, from other iterations. And I don't think I was completely in love with it. I am in love with him wearing the batsuit. Like he is to me the best voice who's ever done it. He is like obviously the physicality to it. That was where it's just like him just not murdering people, beating them to a pulp.
Careful.
You could tell his emotions when he's wearing the suit. You could tell what he's feeling. He's telling you a lot with his eyes when he's wearing the bat suit. It's more so than any other person who's ever played the character. Deserves to be on the list. It's because of the Bruce Wayne aspect. It's not higher.
Yeah, as you can see over my shoulder here, the Batman. I also love the Batman. He is the best Batman in the bat suit we've ever had, live action. I think he's the best voice as well. I agree with everything you said, and especially the Bruce Wayne aspect. We need to see more. We need to see more. I was debating. I was like, am I being biased here with the bat suit? Like how good he is in the bat suit, where it's like, does that really make him like definitely top 5 in his roles, but like, is that really top 3? And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, it does. It
He's
does because it's so
so
important.
good.
It really is that important, especially post Snyderverse. It really
100%.
is. So that's why he's in at number 3, but the ceiling is 1. The ceiling is 1 if he gets Bruce Wayne right. Now, it's going to be tough to get Bruce Wayne right as much as, like, let's say Christian Bale did. But let's say if he even gets close to that and the Batman Part 2 rocks and they continues his ascension as the Batman, as a younger Batman, now getting older, unfortunately, then we are going to have a conversation next time we do this.
We will have to have a conversation. We will have to have a conversation. Let's go to number 2 and number 1. Both of these movies I have are A24 movies. Is it the same for you?
This is the one I'm nervous that we might be different on.
So knowing you, I know that you have Good Time at number 1.
That is
And
correct.
you knowing me and me knowing me and me knowing that you know me, you know that I probably have The Lighthouse at number 1. You'd be surprised that I put The Lighthouse at number 2 and I put Good Time at number 1.
Wow. Wow. Look at that. Look at us.
Yeah, Ricky, you thought we were going to be different? Ricky, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?
That's a great scene. All-time scene.
I was waiting for you to go, I am better than you.
Oh.
Oh, we were so simpatico. We were so aligned on all this until you didn't give me the line, dude. Like
I'm just so shocked.
The Good Time line.
I'm shocked.
I am better than you.
I am just shocked. I thought for sure you're gonna have The Lighthouse, and I was gonna bend the knee to you because you gave me Mickey 17 in the top 5. But this movie, man, like this movie just rips. This movie rips. It's not a lighthearted movie at all. It is dark. But holy crap, this is where like everyone goes to Pattinson and said this is the moment. You know, this is like this was his movie. Even I know the Safdies, but like I'm telling you, like this was Pattinson, and this is where everyone says like, why'd you cast Robert Pattinson? Oh, have you seen Good Time? And that's
Every
where it's like,
It's the
yes,
go-to.
it's like, oh, Leo gets whatever role he wants, and like that's why like Robert Pattinson, like he could probably get whatever role he wants in like his age range
Yes.
because of Good Time.
Yes, I agree. Good time. It blew my mind when I first saw it. And it was the introduction, not only of Pattinson or like kind of the reintroduction of Pattinson, but also like pairing with the Safdies, just a magical pairing. I need to see them do something together again. There's got to be some type of reunion, just like they're doing. I mean, Josh Safdie is doing a reunion with Adam Sandler. How we got to get a reunion between Robert Pattinson and the Safdies? That's what we need, right? The manic breakneck pace, sweating bullets. Pattinson fit into that so perfectly, and to have that edge to him, and that uh what is it? He's like kind of a schemer, in that movie, and kind of like him doing whatever it takes for his brother. All right, I was blown away by Good Time, blown away by it. And The Lighthouse, just to touch upon it, great tandem movie in pretty much one setting with Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is doing a bunch of like Shakespearean, like Moby Dick quotes and like, just calling to the heavens and he's calling to the gods. And then you have a wasted Robert Pattinson in that movie. When I say wasted, I mean like just drunk to the gills for most of the movie. Iconic dance scene that is so memeable, right? And
Amazing.
but when you watch that movie, he's so quiet and reserved in the first half. And you're like, oh, this is going to be the Willem Dafoe show. And Robert Pattinson is just happy to be there. When you keep watching The Lighthouse and you see the descent into madness from the drunken Robert Pattinson character, and you see what he's doing with his eyes, and you see the physical performance, and you see him going toe to toe with Willem Dafoe, you're like, holy shit. Like, is he kind of taking this movie from Willem Dafoe? That was my takeaway after I finished it. I'm like, wow, I am a Willem Dafoe guy. You're a Willem Dafoe guy. But I thought Robert Pattinson takes that movie from him. I'm like, if you can do that with Willem Dafoe and you had Good Time already, right? 2 years prior, you're about to be in a Nolan movie. This is another one where it's like he's kind of got the
The
he's got the
juice.
world, he's got the juice, he's got the world by the balls.
He with the Lighthouse for me, my argument was going to be, yes, I think he builds into that movie. The momentum builds for him, and into the end, literally at the Lighthouse, is incredible from Pattinson.
Oh,
Particularly the second half, it's like the whole movie is just building towards his character, and like you said, his descent into madness, and it's unbelievable. Just that performance, particularly the latter half. But again, you're still sharing the screen with Willem Dafoe versus Good Time. That's his movie, and it's a frantic pace. And he's not a good guy, good person. You said he's a schemer, bank robber, whatnot, criminal, freaking underage, a bunch of shit going on there. But you're still kind of like you're so compelled with Pattinson and
he's
this.
an anti-hero in that
Yeah,
movie.
he's an anti exactly like the hospital scene. Like you still are rooting for him. And I think a lot of that is from that performance, and he's the only guy there carrying that movie at that frantic pace, which is so hard to do. Versus the Lighthouse, like it is kind of a two-hander. It is a two-hander, just a different. You usually don't say like a two-hander in this type of movie, but it is.
But Good Time also has some couple like hard scenes to watch. I remember after I first watched it, I called you. I'm like, dude, I can't believe they had Pattinson like basically kissed that 17-year-old girl. I was just like, God damn it. But I'm like, that's why this guy like somehow he can do something that bad, and then you still like are rooting for it. Says a lot about the movie, how it's built around him, and the performance. Once again, right? I am better than you. That line is so fire. That delivery that kind of defined his career up to this point, aside from the Batman.
That scene and the next scene in the car, just like those the back-to-back scenes there, were just like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Like after that movie's like, yeah, he's past the Twilight like he's past Twilight. He's past Cedric Diggory. This guy has worked after that like 5 years to try to claim his like, hey, I'm legitimately a good actor. And then this movie comes out and he's like, no, he's one of the best we got going right now.
Yeah, he broke bad. He broke bad. That's what he
Yeah.
had to do. And our final list for best Robert Pattinson performances, we have at number 5, Tenet. At number 4, Mickey 17. At number 3, The Batman. Number 2, The Lighthouse. And number 1, Good Time.